So as you may remember, I came out as bisexual last year. And since then, I have been dating women. And what I found very fascinating is that the more I date women, the more I find myself understanding heterosexual men. Let me explain. Exhibit A. I was on a first date with a girl, who asked me out, by the way, this is relevant, because when the check came, she never once made a move to pay. Not even like the fake, let me reach for my purse move. And though I don't mind paying on a date, part of me felt like, the offer would have been nice. I was also a little taken aback that she didn't even say thank you. And I never heard from her again. It really made me feel like she just asked me out so she could have a free dinner. And the moment I thought that, I was like, oh my God, I sound like all of my guy friends right now. And my argument against why guys should pay for dates has always been like, look, girls take hours to get ready. Our investment is looking really nice for you. Makeup, clothes, that costs money too. But we were both girls in this situation. We both took hours to get ready, so I definitely felt slighted. Exhibit B. On another date, I went back to a girl's house and I ended up making friends with her cat. That's not a pun, I'm talking about her literal, actual animal. And she said, wow, my cat never likes anyone. I better go out and buy a wedding dress. And again, I felt like I got some serious perspective. I have been guilty of making these kinds of jokes on dates with men. I never really thought anything of it. I was just being silly. But then when I was on the receiving end of it, I suddenly understood the panic.
It's always amusing when women finally get a taste of their own behavior and act like they've discovered a new species. This woman comes out as bisexual, dates women for the first time, and is suddenly shocked to realize that the very entitlement, ingratitude, and manipulative behaviors men have been calling out for years actually exist. The same woman who used to defend female behavior with, "We spend hours getting ready," is now stunned when another woman doesn't even fake reaching for the check or say thank you after being treated to a date. Welcome to the male experience, where effort is expected, appreciation is rare, and being used for a free meal is just another Tuesday. The irony is almost too perfect. She admits to being taken aback by these behaviors, the very ones men have been ridiculed for complaining about. Now that she's no longer on the receiving end of male generosity but has to deal with female entitlement directly, her entire worldview shifts. Suddenly the jokes, the assumptions, the flakiness, and the manipulation don't feel so cute anymore. They feel draining, disrespectful, and transactional, exactly how men have described it for years, only to be told they're overreacting or being misogynistic. This is what happens when women are forced to confront the reality they helped build. The dating market is broken because entitlement is normalized, gratitude is gone, and empathy only shows up when the privilege runs dry. It's not growth or perspective, it's karmic backlash. She didn't gain awareness through empathy or logic. She gained it by finally not being the one with all the power, and only then did she start to understand what men endure on a daily basis.
One girl invited me back into her house, and her specific words were, "Do you want to come in and make out?" Obviously, I'm like, yeah, you're really pretty. I want to press my face to yours. But then when we got there, we both just sat on the couch and she talked till like 3 a.m. And I was like, yo girl, I gotta wake up at like 6 a.m. I was told there would be kisses here. There are no kisses. And like, look, I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, I don't mind talking. I love talking. But she could have said, do you want to come in and just talk? And I would have had totally different expectations for the evening. Finally I started falling asleep and I was like, hey, I gotta go. And I gave her one kiss and left. And I felt sad that the amount of kisses promised did not equal the amount of kisses delivered. And once again, I felt like a dude who was upset that I did not receive the expected physical kisses I was promised. And I wanted to talk about this because I felt like this has really been expanding my perspective when it comes to dating. I finally understand a lot of the complaints my male friends have about dating that I admit I would usually dismiss. But now I really get it when they say, dating is just so expensive, man.
Sometimes I feel like a girl doesn't even like me for me. She just wants like a boyfriend.
I wish it were more socially expected to go Dutch on the first few dates, but you're like a jerk if you even suggest it. And any experience that expands your compassion and understanding is one that I think is worthy of sharing.
This is yet another prime example of what happens when women have to live without the automatic privilege of being pursued. She gets invited in with a clear offer, want to come in and make out, but then ends up in a marathon therapy session until 3 a.m. with zero intimacy, no payoff, and complete bait and switch energy. Welcome to the male dating experience where signals are unclear, expectations are manipulated, and your time is treated like it's worthless. She doesn't want to sound like an asshole, but it turns out being on the receiving end of mixed signals and wasted energy isn't cute, it's exhausting. The sheer entitlement of the woman she's dating mirrors what men face constantly. Women overpromising and underdelivering, using flirtation as leverage with no intention of following through. And when it doesn't go as expected, the guy's supposed to just smile, be patient, and pretend he wasn't misled. Now that she's put in that same situation, deprived of honesty, clarity, or reciprocity, it finally hits her that dating isn't fair when you're not the one with all the leverage. She literally admits she felt like a dude because the reality of false advertising in the dating world finally hit home. And what's even more telling is that this revelation only came when the roles were reversed. She brushes off male complaints for years, that dating is expensive, that women expect effort with zero emotional return, that suggesting to split the bill makes a man look cheap. But now she gets it. Not because she listened, not because she respected men's experiences, but because she finally had to feel it herself. This isn't growth, it's a rude awakening, one that men go through every damn day while being told to man up and stop whining.
Things I've noticed about myself after dating men my whole life and now dating a woman. First, I can't hide my emotions anymore. And that is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword. My girlfriend notices she's so in tune with my emotions, which is such a beautiful and like amazing thing to feel so like seen and heard and understood. But nothing gets past her. No bad mood, no crabby, no sad, no nothing is going to get past her because she's going to see right through me and she's going to know what is wrong, why, what she can do to fix it. So there's really not a lot of like getting away with your emotions. Like she's gonna know. I no longer feel like I'm begging my partner to participate in activities that I want to do. We have similar interests. We're both girls. We like, if I say, do you want to go to Target? Do you want to go to Ulta? Do you want to go get a massage today? Do you want to go to the grocery store? She's gonna say yes. Like that's our ideal day. Thrifting, coffee shops, all the things. She wants to do all of it. Yes, we have different interests. She likes action movies. I like romances. We have differences that make us interesting, but for the most part, we want to do the same things.
She's basically admitting that being seen and heard 24/7 is suffocating when the emotional coddling she once demanded is finally turned on her. When it's a man who needs space or shuts down emotionally, he's toxic or emotionally unavailable. But now that she's dating another woman and can't escape constant emotional interrogation, it's suddenly a double-edged sword. No room to breathe, no bad day goes unnoticed, just relentless emotional micromanagement. What she used to call intimacy now feels like surveillance, and she's finally learning what it's like to be held to her own impossible standard. Then she celebrates the fact that she doesn't have to beg to do what she wants anymore. Target, Ulta, thrifting, coffee shops. Like the perfect relationship is one where the other person simply obeys her whims. No mention of compromise, no consideration for doing anything outside her bubble, just narcissistic glee that she found someone to mirror her. If a man said he only wanted a girlfriend who does everything he wants, he'd be crucified. But when a woman says it, it's empowerment. This isn't love, it's validation cosplay.
Women think the relationship is all about them. They do. Everything is centered around what she wants. And if that's fine, in her mind, everything is cool. And
This is the core dysfunction in modern relationships. Women have been so endlessly validated that they genuinely believe the relationship revolves around their wants, moods, and comfort. And as long as they're happy, everything must be fine. No accountability, no mutual responsibility, just self-absorbed delusion masquerading as standards. The moment a man voices his needs, he's controlling or not emotionally intelligent. Relationships have become one-sided performance pieces where the man's only role is to serve, provide, and shut up. and if he dares to expect reciprocity, he's labeled the problem.
This is one of the things that I learned because I f***ed this up so much. For a man to feel fully in his power and in his masculine, if that is his power zone, the things that women can do to mess that up is you can criticize your man, you can control your man or try to control him, or you can close down your heart. If a man can't feel her softness, can't feel her vulnerability, no attraction. And if a woman tries to control her man, because most men want to feel the ability to have total freedom, not good. And if a man feels criticized, if you're constantly trying to make him your project and this is what's wrong and let me make you better, ain't gonna do good.
This is one of those rare moments where a woman accidentally exposes how modern relationships get destroyed by her. Constant criticism, control, and emotional shutdown are exactly how women kill a man's masculinity and then blame him for not being man enough. Women today treat their partners like fixer-upper projects, not men. They try to mold, correct, and nag them into their ideal fantasy while offering none of the softness, vulnerability, or respect that actually fuels male attraction. And then they act shocked when he checks out, loses interest, or walks away entirely. Men crave freedom, not a relationship with a second mother. The modern woman's obsession with control, emotional, financial, even psychological, is completely incompatible with masculine energy. You can't beat a man down, disrespect his boundaries, and then expect him to lead and provide like a king. If he's always under attack or treated like he's never good enough, there's no room for power, only resentment. These women aren't looking for men, they're looking for submissive tools who obey on command and thank them for the privilege. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.